Exactly 34 minutes after 6. Let's do the newspapers now, after which we will do the online portals right here on the AM show. Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the Daily Graphic, 8 ministerial nominees approved, 5 others cleared by appointments committee. And the paper comes with pictures of Ken Ofori-Atta, finance minister designate. Now I guess we can call him the finance minister. Shirley Ayokoboche, minister designate for foreign affairs and regional integration. Explosion at Tor, council kicks against Asoma Treme's nomination. Government assesses impact of tax cuts. Results to feature in 2017 budget, Labi Siao. There's a picture of him on the front page of the paper as well. President inaugurates Ghana at 60 planning committee. But let's start off with on page 16 inside the Daily Graphic newspaper. Page 16, we touch on 2 stories on that page. And it says that Parliament yesterday approved the nomination of 8 out of the 13 ministers designate vetted by the Appointment Committee of Parliament. Members of Parliament from both sides shared the view that the nominees were generally knowledgeable and experienced to occupy their respective ministerial positions and unanimously approved their nomination. The approval followed the presentation of the reports of the ACP, which recommended by consensus that the nominees be approved by the House because they had sufficiently satisfied the committee that they had the knowledge and experience to man the respective ministries. And then they said the debate was full of drama as the majority and the minority disagreed on some issues raised in connection with the past and the current government. So you can read all about what transpired and how it transpired in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Let's touch a bit on the story of explosion. It says a furnace at the crude distillation units of the Tema Oil Refinery exploded yesterday, forcing the management of the refinery to shut down the CDU. Officials were prompted to carry out an emergency shutdown of the facility to avert an outbreak of fire after the furnace that had exploded as a result of excessive pressure coupled with heat, causing the structure to give way to release its content. There's a lot more details there in this particular story. Maybe we can touch a bit on this tax cuts and the assessments. Let's go to page 24, still in the Daily Graphic newspaper of today, Friday. Okay, so where are you? Page 24. I'm not sure I readily see the story, so we can just skip and do the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, Supreme Court quashes 15-year jail term, DNA exonerate accused of impregnating 14-year-old girl. That story was in our AM news a bit earlier. Macho men attack school overfeeding program. Government to build database of Ghanaians. President swears in 8 ministers today after parliamentary approval. So 8 of those ministers cleared by Parliament will be approved or sworn in today by the president. Maybe we can touch on this macho men attack in school. I thought that all those attacks had ceased, but apparently not. Story says that a group of macho men caused a stir when they stormed the Sokoban Methodist Primary School in Kumasi in an attempt to take over the school feeding program. The school children had to run helter-skelter for their lives as a group was said to have gone around turning tables upside down and threatening to beat up everyone on site. And according to the caterer of the school, Hannah Dakwa, barely a week ago, 3 macho men approached the school to warn the school feeding program officials to vacate their post because it was their turn to take over the program. And I guess the question that we all ask is, where is the police in all these? Let's do the Finder newspaper. The Finder, front page of the Finder, Nanado finally declares his assets. Teacher freed after a 15-year wrong incarceration. Ghana at 60 kicks off. President says it must be elegant but modest, but a section of the public kicks against the celebration. Today we take our microphones to the Flagstaff House and we speak to a Deputy Chief of Staff who is also Vice Chair of this committee that the President outdoor yesterday to spearhead activities of the 60th anniversary celebration. So we ask all the little questions. If you have any questions for us to put to him, please just get interactive with us. You can go to Facebook, Joy News on TV, and let us know what questions you want to ask the vice chair of the committee. Also on the front page of the Finder, National ID Project action begins. Ghanaian tech firms target UK investors as Made in Tech in Ghana confab set for London in February. I'm interested in the story on page 4 about Nana Addo, declaring his assets. So it says President Akufo-Addo has finally declared his assets at the Auditor General's Department, fulfilling a constitutional requirement. He declared his assets on January 24, 2017, a day after the department said it was impossible for him to do so because the office had run out of receipts booklets. Sources at the presidency had indicated that the president was shocked and highly disappointed when he was told that the receipts which were issued as proof of assets declaration have run out, and they were unsure when some would be made available. When the presidential staffer asked the officials to call on the office of the president when the receipt booklets are ready, he was again told that even the landline phones at the department were not functioning, which meant placing that call to them would be difficult. There are a lot of challenges in a lot of the public offices. But what saddens me is we can't see what the president declared because, it's been just kept away. Interesting. So we know he's declared his asset, but what he's declared, we have no idea. Fire got Sekondi Market, 8 shops razed down. That story inside the pages, page 5 it is. It says 8 shops at Sekondi Market have been gutted by fire and goods worth thousands of Ghana cedis have been destroyed. Also, Richard School embarks on 600,000 Ghana cedis project. So lots of stories in the Finder newspaper. Let's do Roland Walker's favorite, the Daily Guide newspaper front page drama over Nanes ministers. Teacher freed after 15 years in jail. Ghana at 60 begins. Iyoko Pampes Opuni, how did he do that? I'm interested. So let's open to page 3. And it says, it is emerging that the Economic and Organized Crime Office did not conduct any proper interrogation of embattled immediate past Ghana Cocoa Board Chief Executive Dr. Stephen Kwabena Opuni. Dr. Opuni has reportedly been to the premises of the investigative body on 2 occasions since last week, with the last visit being yesterday. But Iyoko has not conducted any serious investigations into Cocoa Board bosses' alleged role in malfeasance in the cocoa sector. Story goes on and on and on. You can grab the paper and read all those details. Let's do the Daily Dispatch. Front page of the Daily Dispatch, EIU on Ghana and USA. Ghana and USA are flawed democracies. That's a banner headline here. Front page of the paper. Certified 2016 parliamentary results. Benefson is advertising that on his website. Focus on mobile money in Ghana. These are the headlines when you grab the Daily Dispatch today. Let's finish off with the Business and Financial Times newspaper. Insurance market to hit $600 million in 2018. OBG report. Oil sector to boost international passenger numbers. And then on the back page, West Africa illicit gold trading hub. Is it Mali? You can read about it. Mike Nyenaku adjudged the most influential young business leader. Congratulations to him. That will be the headlines, front, back page in the Business and Financial Times. Now let's turn attention and do the online portals. We'll start foremost with myjoyonline.com. So here we go. With myjoyonline.com. Lawyer demands compensation for man wrongfully jailed. This one says 19 years. Okay. Some of the papers are reporting 15 years. There's some paper report 15 years. Yes. The Daily Guide reported 15 years, and this the Finder also reported 15 years. The Times also reporting 15 years. Okay. Let's move on though. Mafwe Jacko submit documentary evidence, race against time for approval. Apocalypse is 30 seconds closer, say doomsday clock scientists. Oh, I'm interested. Can we just click on that story a bit? Fred, let's click on this story, which says scientists say, is the world going to end like tomorrow? Scientists say the world has edged closer to apocalypse in the past year amid a darkening security landscape and comments by Donald Trump. The bulletin of the atomic scientists moved the minute hand of the symbolic doomsday clock from 3 minutes to 2.5 minutes to midnight. It is the second closest it has been, and BPA chief Rachel Bronson urged world leaders to calm rather than stoke tensions that could lead to war. Okay, you can read about this if you're interested. What is the doomsday clock, for instance? So the minute hand on the doomsday clock is a metaphor for how vulnerable to catastrophe the world is deemed to be. Very, very interesting. You can read more about it on the website. But we'll quickly go back and finish with the headlines on myjoyonline.com. Let's go back to the homepage now. Let's continue from where we left off. Gambia's new president, Adama Barrow, to return home. He's going back to Gambia. Industrial commodities prices to surge in 2017, according to World Bank. Also, Bank of Ghana denies issuing new denominations. Government kickstarts national ID projects. That was in our AM News as well. Ghana at 60 committee, necessary Jinaport defense, and we have an extensive conversation with him here on the AM show today. So look out for that. In the meantime, if you have any questions you want us to put to him, just go on our Facebook page and tell us what you want us to ask him. That'll be it for myjoyonline.com. Quickly, we want to do City FM Online. Ghana at 60 will be modest. We don't have money. Nana Dankwe Akufo-Addo saying there yesterday. And Ghana at 60 committee will do a sacrificial job at Bujinapo. Sunyan Chief's rejection of BA minister nominee baseless. That's according to Obri Buahen. Eric Opoku, Claire Nanado, pay DKM customers. Okay, that's another story there on the site. Okay, that'll be it. Nanado finally declares his assets. That story in the Finder, also on the front page or on the website of City FM Online. Let's wrap up now with the BBC Africa page. Gambia's new president arrives home. Okay, so he's finally home. Adama Barrow returns to jubilant scenes after his predecessor left for exile under foreign pressure. So the man was president in Gambia, but not quite. He wasn't sworn in the Gambia. It had to be done in Senegal. But now that Yaya Jammeh is out of the jurisdiction, he's back to take his right seat. We wish him well. We hope he is. He's a better leader, really. Nigerian women's champion author died. Niger Delta villagers can't sue Shell. Ghana's Jan fears he's out of AFCON. So I guess we have a confirmation of that when we bring you sports. Is he out for good or what? Is he going to play any role at all? We have a game on Sunday, and I've been told that he's very crucial to any of our games. He's such an inspirational captain. There are lots more stories on the sites. If you want to read, you can always click on the website and read. All right, that will be it for the online review as well. Get to the newsstands, of course, grab the newspapers, or visit the online portals and read all the stories in detail. There was this story on the main page of the BBC. Maybe I can just share a bit with you. It says, Mexico has condemned a U.S. suggestion that it may impose a 20% tax on Mexican imports to pay for President Donald Trump's planned border wall. Foreign Minister said such tax would make Mexican imports more expensive for U.S. consumers, and they will end up paying for the wall. The Mexican president earlier canceled a visit to the U.S. amid the row of who would pay for the barrier. So Donald Trump there, he made that promise when he was a candidate. Now he's president, and he's certainly making sure that that wall is built. And so he's going to be imposing some 20% tax. We'll see how that goes. That's it for the review for now. Stay with us. We'll come back with sports.